them. They had the same lawyer. It was a whole bunch of shit. They were on the same team, Rory and Maul, about trying to claim ownership that they didn't have, which I understand why they would want, but it comes back to that what
So let
you bring
me.
to the table, what's your value. But the whole thing was it was never about Rory. Maul would have chose Budden over Rory any day of the week. That's what he kept trying to say. They've known each other 15 plus years. Rory, he only knew Rory about half a year before the pod started. That's what he said on this pod. And it was like, all right, I see what it see that's where it made more sense to me. It was like, yo, yeah, no, Maul wouldn't have left just because Roy. He might have had a problem with it for sure. But left, I don't know. Unless they were on the same page of like on some union shit, like, yo,
Right.
we feel this way.
So
You know what I'm saying?
so I want to
And
But
they
ask the
have
more,
the
nitty. I
same
want to
lawyer,
ask.
so that says it all.
but
So
more
I want to ask
directly
the
to your
nitty gritty of
question.
this question real quick. I want to ask the nitty gritty of that question is whatever money that they're talking about. So you have the money that is proposed minus the net that they've gotten. Is that
Right.
amount of money worth Maul doing what he did with Rory?
No,
Or or is there something else on top of that involved? Because listen, I'm gonna mention it one
definitely,
more time.
definitely.
No nigga that I know that's in my friend group, which is a tight friend group, can tell me that something I've been involved with for years does not involve me. No nigga can say that to me.
No, no, I was just about to say that.
So
And that's where you're
I'm just
right.
asking. I'm just
Respect
asking.
was a big, big factor in Maul's whole conclusion. I won't take that from him. What he said he meant. That's a fact. That nigga has been feeling disrespected, and I seen it in them earlier, like the early 400 pods where Joe kept like dragging him about not having a car, kind of making him seem like he's poor. There was a whole bunch of episodes where Joe was just bugging on these guys.
I have a
And I'm sure
question.
there was shit behind the scenes, but he was just going crazy. And those episodes were uncomfortable as fuck for me. Like I watched them because it was like watching a car crash. It was like, oh my god, like oh, but it was like, yo, these aren't enjoyable like how they used to be. I feel like they
I have a
hate each
question for
other
the group.
and they're just trying to diss each other the hardest on air without going
Can
too
we
in
let
deep.
someone else speak?
Yes, I'm sorry, my bad. Damn.
No, you're cool. I just I have a short question. Mo was talking a lot about respect in business and in friendship. Are there two different types of respect, and can those intermingle?
I
Most
believe so because I think respect for Maul, even though he was making it sound like it was what was Joe saying, but if he feels like he's underpaid, that can also be a type of disrespect. That he might have not been trying to say, but obviously now we know that was one of the disrespects he might have felt. So I do feel like there's different disrespects, and they can, when you're doing business and you have a friendship too, that can get misconstrued because Joe has a right to himself in his business to make sure he is paying himself what he's worth. And just because they know that Joe is making a lot of money, it is Joe's brain and brand. The whole reason Everyday Struggle fell apart, even if it continued, it didn't get as much viewership, is because brands wanted to work with Joe. So sometimes you think that you have leverage. And I think when he brought Ice and Ish, it proved that the Joe Budden podcast can move on without them. And I think it disproved that how important they were. Like, I am a huge Rory supporter, but it shows that they're not as important as it seemed at first. And they are replaceable.
and
I think.
also when you
Go
think
ahead.
about it, the podcast, the friendship is the business. So the lines are just too blurred for anybody to really know what is respect and what is disrespect. You know what I mean?
Well, I think it became more about business when they created a contract. Had they had no contract and had Joe divvied up the show and he gave everyone ownership beforehand, this wouldn't be a problem because they would all be owners and all be in all the decisions. But Joe is the one with the money. He started everything, he bought everything, and he brought his friends in to be contributors. He's made it abundantly clear that there's no money problems. Everyone is overpaid. There's too much money, apparently. So
Right.
he believes everyone is paid handsomely for their small contributions or contribution at all. So I think that in that instance, he felt that he was being slighted, as in he was thinking he's probably the best boss ever. You're getting paid thousands for 28 hours of work a week,
Huh.
and somehow they still have an issue. I think that's where Joe's kind of coming from, I guess, in terms of a business
I
standpoint.
couldn't have said it better. That's fine.
I think
We'll
that
see you
Joe,
better.
his is when he leaves the pod, he's still thinking about the pod every day until the next pod. That's all he thinks about. Whereas with Maul, you could tell he doesn't want to be there. He leaves the pod, and that's it for him. He's not
Let
doing anything behind the scenes. He's Mr. Fashion. He can't come up with fucking merch ideas. He hasn't
Yeah.
done anything on the side. What Joe's constantly thinking about the podcast, whereas Maul and Rory, what have they done to contribute? Honestly, other than sitting
all
in
right,
the
hold on. All right, let me answer that question. I'll let somebody else speak because I know everybody. You know what I'm saying. But basically, where I see that, I agree with you, but I disagree with you because what they contributed was the pod. Like before, it did become the big business that it was just it was greatness because they were friends, even if there was little riffs or whatever. They were really friends and it was always smooth. Now these last episodes, it kind of showed the true colors of kind of everybody. Joe being how he is, which we kind of already knew, but Maul and Roy kind of being how they are, which is they're focused on we feel like we own part of this, which really I see why they feel that way, but they really can't because you know what I'm saying is Joe did it all, spent it all, made it happen, and it was Joe's fan base. If Joe wasn't, we all would want to kind of watch a Roy and Mal podcast, but if Joe's not on it, it would never be even close to the same.
That's true, but people can't downplay Rory and Maul's contributions.
Not at
Like
all. No,
the pod did blow up with them, as co-hosts.
for
There's
sure.
nothing you can say about that.
For
Yes,
sure.
I'm not trying to downplay their contributions because I see them as important, but the facts are the facts. You replace them with two other dudes, and the pod is still pumping out the same numbers. It shows that yes, they were important and they grew a fan base, but they also didn't grow a fan base outside of that on their own. They didn't try to, like, Joe did make valid points of, hey, I said start your own YouTube channel. You guys didn't do that. There's other mediums they could have took to make their own name, and they continue to latch on. Like, I love Rory, but they
So
continue. They
Well,
continue.
everybody's replaceable.
Yeah, and
everybody, not all the time. Joe ain't replaceable. If you tried to do that same show without Joe, it wouldn't work,
no,
and that's the point.
obviously Joe is not replaceable. It's his, but I'm saying in a general sense, if you have a show and you have a mate, like you had, the Will Smith, I call it the on Viv effect. Everyone's replaceable but Will Smith, and we get that, and the numbers still showed that as long as if you're friends of Joe, the podcast will still work. So he had other friends to give up. Like, I wish they would, figure it out, but at this point, the disrespect that Joe feels, and then also the disrespect he gave on this episode, is just like, to me, there's no coming back, and I could at least see it in Maul's stance, and I could even see it in Rory's when it came to him talking about the academic situation. I don't know if that was Rory, but
It was. I saw recently
I'm
this.
saying I personally don't know if that, like, that's what I'm saying.
Right, right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Personally don't know.
Maul could have started his own. Like, he got all those athletes. You got Julius Randle. You got KD calling in. You got Maul. Like, they show up to the pod, or Maul calls them on his
Okay.
phone. It's not Joe on their phone. It's Maul. Could have started his own sports podcast and brought all those guests in and did maybe a 15-minute pull-up, like talking to them about sports and all that stuff. Like, Maul had the avenues to where he could have branched off and started his own
But
thing. I hate to bring up the comparison, but you look at Andrew Schultz, what he built off of the back of Charlemagne. Like, Andrew Schultz got his own comedy career and everything and built that off of the back of Charlemagne. Yeah, he dick
yeah,
rides,
Yeah,
but
facts.
it's a sense you got to start your own. And Joe gave them the avenue and said, yo, why don't you do this? Like, handing them stuff, and they just weren't running with it.
they were too cool for it. That's what I think. That's what I think it comes down to. They felt like they were just too cool for school
Replaceable.
or whatever the fuck it is. They just didn't want to like put their effort in all the way, and it ended up biting them in the ass. They thought they had more power than they did, which they do have a lot of power. All of us are gonna miss them. I think I could speak for everybody when I say we're all gonna miss them. But at the same time, it's almost refreshing having Ice and Ish, a whole new friend group, talking about a whole new set of situations. It's almost better now. It's almost better now just because, and we love Roy and Maul, but it's like I said, it's better because it's like we seeing a whole new. It's like it's starting fresh again.
Facts, and they also have stories about Joe that
Yeah.
Maul and the sheriff story.
Yeah.
That shit was
Way
hilarious.
wilder
Hey,
stories.
Poppy, like that shit was hilarious.
For sure. They be having me cracking up, man. I'm trying to tell you, man.
Would you guys watch or listen to a Rory and Maul podcast?
Not by
Yes.
themselves, no.
Yes, but I don't know. Yeah, it would not by themselves for sure. They'd have to have one more co-host. Like if they put Mano in there, I'm with it. I'm with it. No, think about it. Mano is the perfect vibe with Maul and Roy. They're all kind of like
they gotta
cool
put
enough to
Azila
vibe.
Banks in there. Azila Banks.
I would have to.
Nah, Azalea's crazy.
I would have to say that I would listen to their podcast even if they didn't have it. I would have to listen to say I would stay on it. Like,
yeah,
they did it and it's amazing. They got good chemistry or whatever. Like, that's all I'm looking for is good chemistry and to be entertained. If they do bring someone on, I would want someone to be that they have a connection with. But once again, they have to wait a year to even for that to happen, which is
Kiera, do the drop.
Oh,
no.
that's her. That's her new Ice Dish.
Oh nah, y'all. You know you wild for doing that.
Nah, bro, chill out.
Nah,
Nah,
Chill
she's
out.
legend.
Chill
She's
out.
nah,
legend.
I'm,
Chill
I'm
out.
joking.
Chill
I'm
out.
joking.
Can't
I'm
hit it all
kidding.
the
I'm
way.
Wait,
kidding. I'm
excuse
kidding.
me. First of all, I'm not doing that shit. But second of all, how am I? I'm a whole ass female. It's wild that y'all niggas sitting there moaning to that shit. That's the crazy.
No, nigga, I said, bro, chill.
Get these
New
Chill.
Ice and Ish.
That man said, please
Nah.
stop.
Yeah, you ain't gonna hit that. Everybody else hit it, but you, that's crazy.
I'm not gonna hit it. You can literally play it all you want on a podcast.
Nah,
Yeah,
That's a fire
she a
ass drop
legend
though.
too.
That's one of the best
She's a
yeah,
drops
legend.
he got.
that's
I'm not
crazy.
gonna hold you.
No, that drop is fire. I ain't gonna cap. You need to do it. You did one for Budden, right?
Yes, I'm assuming now that Rory and Maul are gone, that he will be using that one.
I'm
I
not gonna
hope
hold
so.
you. Go
That
into an
shit gonna be funny.
and rewind in 19 minutes and 50 seconds over and over again is crazy. That's a wild ass concept for real.
No, for sure, for sure. But man, what happened to Ice? He ain't coming in here or Ish? What was it? It was Ish?
Yeah, he said he was, but
Oh man, Ish getting fame hungry. I can tell. He ain't never had it.
nah, Kiera, I wanted to say what up though. Kiera and Nate, man, I appreciate y'all. Like y'all definitely doing your thing. Anything I could do to help y'all, it's yours.
I appreciate that. I heard that someone over here,
Thank you.
big nostril asshole. Yes, my nose is big, but I want to know what the fuck is your issue?
Who? Me?
Nah, Big Pump Killer.
Oh,
I didn't say.
Hey, you got called out, my nigga. What's up?
No, I never said that.
Oh, you
Uh,
did, bro. You did. She didn't
You
make that up.
did. You
That was that
did.
dude Nate.
You did.
I just
That was
want to let it be known. I
Nate.
said one comment about you, which I still state to this day that is very true. I do find it very weird and corny that you've made 201 songs about these dudes. Like, it's a little much.
All
Oh,
right.
that's homeboy. You made the songs.
Yeah. Come on, shut up for a second, dude.
Dude,
I
he
think it's
money. I'm
funny
finna
that
follow.
Oh,
your
I'm
little
dead. I'm in
friend
this bitch.
talk
Wait.
to yourself for 4 fucking hours about a podcast that no one's watching.
It wasn't 4 hours long, sir.
But
It
people
was about an
are
hour.
I'm dead. Is that Ian?
one.
hey,
Why does
yo,
it
Big
sound
Pump
like
Killer.
Ian? Why does it sound like Ian?
It
I
definitely
know, is
sounds
this
like
nigga
Ian.
white? Somebody please.
White.
Yo, I got a question
Yo,
for Big Pump
that's
Shut up.
Killer.
No, he's white.
Yeah, I am white. You got a fucking problem?
That's
Whoa,
definitely
whoa,
Ian. That's
whoa.
definitely Ian. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and hold you.
Yo,
That's Ian, bro. I swear to God. Like, yo, Ian
What the
sounds like
fuck
that.
is going on? This shit is crazy right now.
this is bananas. Hold on, Big Pump. Say one more thing.
So who records your
Don't
drop?
try to even mute yourself, Big Pump. Nah, go ahead.
So who
Nah,
records
yo,
his music?
yo,
Because
spit
he
another
definitely
track.
says the
No,
N
spit a
word.
freestyle right now.
I
Y'all done
never
cracked the code
said
on this one.
Yo, he
never
keeps.
from
Check this
Killer
out. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Check the pattern. He keeps muting himself. It's definitely Ian. But anyway,
It is easy.
like
Oh,
he keeps muting himself on and off because he's
That's
trying not to
we
laugh.
crazy.
It's Ian.
uncovered
Like,
your shit.
Oh, you
Yo,
got me. You got me
yo,
y'all
good.
spit a
funny as
free,
fuck,
spit a
man.
free right now. Go.
I'm dead. No, it's not.
I said,
Now,
yo,
Big Pump Killer, you got bars though. No lie.
Thank you. I know.
Nah, for sure. That's crazy. I didn't know that was you though. That's crazy.
No, a lot of people do say I'll be sounding like Ian, but I don't know. I guess it's just the signature white person voice. Then I don't know.
Nah, nah. I was
Yeah, I hear
Nah,
fucking
you.
with
it
you,
is
bro.
mad significant. Like,
No, I
Yeah,
kind
got
no,
of
it's
a
close.
coincidence.
It's
I,
like
Kind of a
Ian if
coincidence.
he's off like a
Yo,
Molly or something, like when he's chill or some shit.
I
Ian
yo.
don't know.
is mad,
Nah,
mad
but like,
fucking
can we
serious
just?
all the
I
time.
heard y'all talking about the scenario of the pod, like who was everybody tripping and whatever. I do got some 2 cents. I understand both parties. Where if one would want more, being Rory and Ma, and Joe feeling the part where it's his, it's his, it is his. I mean, his name's on it. It says Joe Budden, but at the same time, it's like if those are your guys, I would
Gotta
form a
just.
way to better handle it better. Like
Yeah,
I
he
would
was
definitely. I
foul for
mean,
putting
and he
that
did
like
try
out in the
to, but I
world.
I
mean,
think he did try to though. I think that's his whole point. Is he really did try to. Like he was like he said he was really kind of overpaying him. I don't. The problem is we don't know the details of the contract. But
exactly.
even when they came back, they stressed the point that they was getting paid more than enough. They just wanted ownership, and I can understand why they would want it, but I don't think they deserve it. If it's just me,
The issue is that they want the one in ownership when they got mad with Joe. When everything was cool, no one talked about ownership. And Joe said this. No one asked a single question
no,
when they were
no,
getting paid.
no, no.
Do you
Rory
think they assumed that they already had it essentially since everything was cool?
No, 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 no. In that episode, he even says Roy wanted to ask for ownership before even the Spotify deal. I think it was somewhere. I can't remember exactly when he said, but it was before the Spotify. It was before it really blew up or anything. Roy asked for ownership. Joe said no. He just said straight up no. And Roy was like blah 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 and whatever happened, but they ended up renegotiating a different deal. They wanted part of his YouTube viewing. He said no, you can make your own YouTube and you can post the same videos that I post. You got the same videos. That's really that's a boost. You can't get that nowhere else. Like he said, you don't get that nowhere else. You get the audio and visual. You can post it to your channel and it's yours. But they didn't want that. They didn't want to go and do the work. That's their whole problem. They didn't really want to do the work.
So, okay, let me ask this question. Where does everybody stand on the
babysitters.
owing your friend respect? As far as if you consider someone a friend, do you give them respect off the back? Or
Where would this
With
is my
that,
this
Respect
I
is
answer your
non-negotiable,
question
man.
with go ahead.
that's how I feel. I'm right there. Whoever said respect is non-negotiable, that's
That's
facts.
Maul.
with
Maul
All
said
with
right.
that.
This
that
is
point, we all know Joe is like the king of semantics. So I feel like he just said that shit just to try to piss somebody off. For real.
right, but hold on, real quick.
I get
For
that.
that answer, I answer with the question: when have they showed him respect?
And see, that's where when I heard the where they would show up late for pods and shit like that. Like that's
Not
where
even that. Not even that. Whenever he said that thing where Maul was there and that he was getting he was talking to Jay-Z saying sorry, but blah blah blah, and Jay-Z said, so what? And Maul broke out laughing. Yo, they laugh at this nigga. They make it their job to
Now I'm
be
gonna come
jumping
clean.
on him. And I understand that's funny. I love it. But you gotta realize, yo, where's the respect from y'all?
Now
Like
listen to this.
He never said it, but I was thinking it the whole time. Like, y'all niggas ain't respecting him. Like, so how he supposed to respect y'all?
I'm
You know
trying
what
not.
one of the funniest moments in the pod was? I hate to give Maul any type of dab, but
I'm a
y'all remember when he made fun of Joe coming out at SOBs with the lit cigarette?
yeah, yeah.
Hold
He
up,
couldn't
hold
get
up.
through the crowd.
Hey, let me say something. Y'all don't remember? I think Maul was done when Jim Jones said he spared him. That shit was the funniest shit in life.
Nah, Maul was done
That
on
shit is
this last.
hilarious, bro.
Jim
Maul was
Jones said he
officially
spared
checked
Maul.
out this last
God
episode
damn.
when Park started singing that respect song to him. I think that's when Maul knew he was done with the show. You could kind of see
Respect.
it.
Hey,
Are you,
Nay,
man?
Nay and Kiera. Hold on. First, is it Kiera or Kiara?
It doesn't matter. I don't even know what happened.
That's a beautiful ass name.
Okay, my bad. So look, hey, Nay and Kiera, how do you feel? How did you feel
Her,
about
her,
Do you
her name.
remember when Joe?
Wait. Her name is Nene. Her name is Nene.
Yeah, I thought you were talking to me.
My bad. I keep saying Nay. I'm sorry. Nene. I'm sorry.
Yes, Taj, I've told you this multiple times.
I'm stupid. I'm sorry.
Shame on
But
you, disrespecting our black women.
y'all don't remember when Joe said that he fired his chef?
Yeah, and didn't
Yeah.
all that.
Fam, that shit was the craziest story he ever told on a podcast. Firing a chef for asking about their payment.
Yes.
And he tried to make it seem like that shit was
Yo,
normal.
hold on, wait, hold on, wait. I remember that. You said he fired his chef because he asked about the payment.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, too. He said the chef asked 2 weeks later about the payment following up, and he fired him. Like, come on, dog.
That's why I feel like there's
that
more to
was
this
wild.
than
Ooh.
But that's
So y'all don't feel like Joe's turning into everything that he hates?
yes.
He's
You,
been.
No, he
yeah.
definitely is.
Yeah,
Bars.
definitely.
you can see that, but to me, it's like you know what you signed up for. It's not that he's turning into everything he hates. He only protects his friends. He only protects people that he fuck with and he work with. Like when it comes to other people that are outside that circle, it's very noticeable what type of person Joe is. And it's like people choose to stay there, and then when shit doesn't go the way they want to with him, they go and they have this whole rampage. But you should have been speaking up when you was in that situation, or you saw him fuck someone else over, or you didn't like something that he did with someone else. Like I really think it's like everyone's plays the victim when it affects them, and they don't give a fuck about no one else. And I think that goes according all the way to like a situation like Rocky. That goes according to those type of situation where it's like, you know what type of person he was, and until it affected you, now she goes every single chance she gets and goes on Twitter rants, and it's like, it's fucking annoying because you knew what type of person he was, so he did some shit to you.
I would like to speak on
Super
that real quick.
facts.
It's just that all right, so maybe there is this misconception, right, where niggas feel like once they have been with a nigga long enough that they feel like the things that he does don't affect them. And to a certain degree, I don't like to like victim blame or any shit like that, but like at the same time, I'll be like, you saw this shit coming. You could, to some degree, you can prevent it. But like, let's say a conversation happened, right? Because none of us know the whole story. We'll never know the whole story. Let's say a conversation happened where they talked about this, and then there was no change that could happen. If you see a nigga do the same thing for 15 years, right? Even though you came in on year 8 and shit don't change, you might say to yourself, maybe. But you're not going to throw away a fucking bag. So maybe they're wrong. Maybe they're wrong for saying, like, yo, I thought shit was going to change. Maybe they're wrong for that. But maybe at the same time, it's not crazy for somebody that you believe to be not only your partner in business, but your friend, your man's in real life, that some shit might change. And maybe that's coming from me from like an altruistic thing, but like maybe you saw something that can rise from this situation, because remember, not everybody that Joe Budden deals with is a friend. They are in a unique position in which friendship and business took a part to hand in hand. He's not friends with academics. He's not friends with Wayno or Adam 22 or any nigga like that. That's not gonna happen. But when you out here not sharing your detergent with a nigga, that's how you know that's it. That's your fucking friend. So you might see
Can we
that some shit might be a little different. That's what I'm
can,
asking.
can we let the detergent thing go? That was 200 years ago. Like
no,
Damn,
I
That
but
shit
just
mad
still
funny
though.
though.
I'm
That's
not gonna
funny as
hold you.
shit.
I only said that
That
as
shit's
jokes.
super
I'm
funny.
only saying that as jokes, but my nigga, the fact that Joe brought that shit up, I said, bro. First of all, you said
That's petty.
Rory's therapy was shit. I'm like, my nigga, I don't know what it takes to get a PhD in that shit, but at the very least, she could have got you over that detergent stuff. That's all I'm saying. So maybe she was. I don't know. Maybe it was ass.
Nah, he only went to therapy with Rory.
That's what he said.
I thought Maul might have sat in. The fact that Maul ain't sitting is crazy to me, but that nigga's always on his phone, so that's my fault.
Man, I ain't going no therapy, man.
Yeah, nah, Maul
Nigga
a real
too
What's up
nigga.
cool
with the
for
theory and
therapy.
Maul being too
This
cool
nigga
with
eat
niggas?
deli
Like, I don't
sandwiches
get
with
that.
no mayo.
I'm dead.
Yo, Roy definitely said the N word though. That's on God.
Behind the
For
scenes or
real?
like in front of a bunch of people?
Let me tell you something.
I
Rory has said the N word rapping along with a song. Every white person
Yep.
has. All right.
But
okay. So,
He called
No.
Sam one.
Yikes.
excuse me. So
So
we're
if
gonna
I'm
let
in my car listening
this
to
white man.
DMX and I'm rapping along to the lyrics, I'm gonna censor myself.
Yes.
By
What do you
myself.
mean?
No,
Just don't
Yes.
say it around
that's
nobody black.
That is ridiculous. If I'm by
Okay, that's
myself,
that's.
fair.
I
Nah,
find
this
if I'm
it.
by
nigga eating.
I
myself in
find
my
it.
car
I didn't have
rapping
no.
along to some Biggie lyrics,
I'm sorry.
I can't even make it flow if I gotta
I
censor
mean,
myself.
I did not know. I did not know this was a white man at first, and I had no issue to come here and sit there and defend my nigga nose. But the fact that this white man sat here and talked about my nose, and now he's talking
oh
about the
shit.
N word is
Oh shit.
crazy to me. It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, I've rapped along to rap songs. I'm such a bad guy.
All right, hold on. We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Hey, let's change the
so like,
subject.
Yeah, change the
yeah,
subject.
like we're not doing this. We're not doing that. Anyway, so check this out. Now, how many of y'all go back to the funny moments? Because like those used to be a daily for me.
You know
I
what
still
was
be
one of
watching
the
them shit.
funniest moments? The
Please.
Tez keeps telling me he just turned 30 show. That whole show was that's like a top 5 podcast. You got to go back to that one. You got to listen to it in a while.
Now the episode when Joe was talking about he was top three or he got put on the top three list and he just kept playing his shit back to back. That shit was hilarious.
Nah,
Remember the one where
when Joe said he tasted his own shit, I was like, nah.
I'm
that's
sick.
Nah, bro. Remember when the kids pulled up to Joe Biden's house and he chased them with the rocks?
Yeah, that was a great show. The Views rant was also a classic moment.
The Views rant will always be classic.
I'm gonna have to say top sickest moment was when Simba called and said she wanted to see Joe, and he had to pick up the phone.
That man Joe Budden dissed Drake like 5 times back to back, and Drake ain't even respond for real.
Nah, that nigga Drake. That nigga Drake calling his house an Airbnb. Had me fucking sick.
So who thinks there's any chance Maul and Rory will ever come back?
Never.
Them niggas ain't
It'll
I
coming
never be
back.
think
the same.
it's a
It'll
slight
never
That's
be.
that
chance.
public shit. Nah.
Them niggas ain't coming
Nah,
back.
nah, the pod that.
But how do y'all feel about Joe like trying to discount Rory's day one status? You know, he's
He's
saying
not day one. He came in like
I'm
episode
saying like
17.
episode
He a
7. Like, come on
coworker
now.
that he got
Damn,
close with.
episode 7. That's not far from
I
one.
mean,
Like
that's what
they're
I'm
at
saying.
300 and
Like,
something now. Like, come on.
But that also means he wasn't there when the Joe Budden podcast was actually created. He wasn't
He
there
wasn't
for
there
the
when he was shooting in the gym.
but
exactly.
Fam,
they
shooting in the
still day
gym.
one though.
They
And
were in the playoffs. What are we
the
talking about?
podcast was
What are
built
we
for
talking
I'm
about?
hey, but he had to get ready for the playoffs. Rory wasn't there.
If we're three, hold on, because if we're what are we? We're at three. This is 3 or 437. We're at 437 episodes, and Roy came in on episode 7. And you're telling me this man wasn't shooting with him in the gym, fam? We might not have made it to 100 episodes
bro.
without Roy.
Bro, what is the definition of day one? It's day one, episode 1, not episode 7, not episode 17. He wasn't there. He didn't. Joe said on the pod today he just started showing up on his bicycle to record.
Damn.
He wasn't even wanted. He was a bullshit A&R who couldn't get anything to pop over at Sony, and you know he rode his Joe Budden friendship as far as it could go.
I
Yo,
thought
this dude
Talent
A&R's
Rory
had it.
is really a bum.
didn't exist anymore.
and his album is gonna be such trash. I can't wait for it to fucking come out. I'm gonna cop the physical CD just to
He
fucking
really
burn it.
has an album coming.
That's just a waste of
Rory
money.
has an album.
Wait. Can I ask where is this coming from?
Is that shit real?
What?
Because I'm saying like that's not just the pop. Like, where is this Rory hate coming from?
It's the Emotional Oranges album.
I would
So
like to
he's
ask
A&Ring that album.
Team
Killer,
Joe.
where does your disdain from the Joe Budden podcast like originate from? Like, when did you
Well,
really
what
start
happened
hating this?
was back in 2009, I went to a padded room signing. I rapped a verse for Joe. He told me it was good, but he was kind of being sarcastic about it. So I just felt away for these last 12 years.
Is this the
Wait, so
dude that
this
makes
is why you
This
make
nigga,
all
no,
these
this nigga
actual
lying.
these diss tracks?
That did
Bro,
not happen,
Wait,
bro.
hold
On
on.
God.
Is this the dude
On
who
God,
raps
I
about
spit a
the...
verse for him in 2009, padded room signing. He
And he
tried to
said it was
play me.
trash.
No,
Yo,
he
that's
said,
like
That joint
he
was
said it
that's
fun.
the
verbatim.
evil villain origin story right
He
there.
said that was good.
Nah,
He
you know
told me
that shit was trash.
he told me that was good, sir. And you know what? In retrospect, it was trash, but I still feel away.
I'm dead.
Hold up. So you mad at Joe for calling a trash verse good? Like what?
Listen, man, it ain't gotta be.
You know what's crazy? This guy has been trash for 12 years. That's crazy. Like,
Yeah,
you were trash
I-
then and you still trash. That's
I'm
crazy.
so
Wait, hold
trash.
on. So you do make the disses for the actual pod? Like, you're the dude that raps and disses the pod?
Yes, and
That's
anyone
That's
who
what you
lit.
do. Wait,
like,
hold
first
on.
off,
That's
I
what
did
you
rap.
do?
I did rap the verse for Joe in 2009. But if anyone
Okay.
thinks that I'm literally have this disdain and everything, and
Word.
like I'm really harboring resentment and like I'm this
Uh-huh.
crazy lunatic, you're fucking insane.
Uh-huh.
I do it because
I
it's
mean,
fun and it's
I
funny.
low key would. If one
Well,
of my
hold
favorite
on.
rappers
Wait.
call me trash, I'll be sick for a couple years. I'm not
He
gonna
He
didn't
lie.
did
call me
make like a
trash.
hundred
It was
disses.
True, but
good.
like, can we talk about some of these disses you've been putting out though?
Please,
Like,
34-0, bro. 34-0. We gotta respect that.
Facts. They not trash.
they're
They are not
not.
trash.
But
Anyone who
like,
says, first off, when I'm singing an R&B remake, if y'all think I'm supposed to be like doing good on that, it's supposed to be funny. When I'm singing
well,
fucking
okay, I got
like
you.
Ashanti. I'm not thinking I'm killing it like I'm Chris Brown.
I'm dead.
Facts. You like a meme rapper.
But
when I
like,
let the bars
what
fly, I
started
can't
the
deny
thoughts of the disses?
what's up?
Like, you just thought of it for fun? Like, you just be like, oh, this would just be some funny shit? Because I'm trying to
Well,
get a
what happened
compilation of
was
these together.
I was on the Reddit. I was on the trash Reddit. I don't know if you guys are on my Reddit. I started a new one. It's the Joe Budden podcast with an S on Reddit. Join there. We're not like those fuck boys.
Jay, what up?
And anyway, so I uploaded the first diss. It got a good response. I uploaded the second one. It got a good response. I uploaded it on Twitter. I tagged Joe in the post. He liked it, and the rest is history. Podcast history, undefeated, world Guinness Book of World Records shit, 34-0.
That's amazing.
Nah, you
What's
gotta
your
have
most?
Jay talk.
amazing.
What's your
Good,
most
Jay. What's up?
views?
My most views is the Hey Mall song.
How much
Hold
views
on,
they got?
BPK. Hold on real quick. Jay, what's going on?
Hey, yo, retweet
I'm
that.
dead.
Man, let's shorty talk.
You a dog.
Oh, who, me?
I'm dead. Why'd she try to act like she wasn't there?
Facts.
Nah, I was trying to read who's in here, but
Okay.
no, those disses. I didn't really want to like those at first, but they're pretty funny.
Yeah, I got a lot of shit in the beginning, but most people started.
Oh yeah, I
fucking with
dissed the fuck out of you in the beginning, but but they're funny. They're funny. They're kind
Nah,
of
hold up. Hey, French. I'm gonna try to make you a speaker. My bad.
Yo, could I go do a roundtable? Who's from where? Just to kind of like be like, oh shit, like cool people, networking, life.
Long Island.
I'm from Connecticut.
Florida.
Oh.
DMV.
Hey, DMV, what's good,
I'm from New York City. Coming out of Queens.
Hey.
I'm from Chicago right now. I'm in LA.
Chirac.
What was everybody's first episode that they like got them glued? Day one or
My brother used to listen
Shit.
to
Back in like the SoundCloud days.
my brother used to listen to Maul's podcast, and that's kind of what put it on. A lot of people don't know Maul had a whole entire podcast before Joe did, and I'm gonna plug it
Yeah, I
tonight.
never knew that.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
yeah, for sure.
Was it
But
good?
he be trying to say Maul don't be doing shit.
That's why when y'all say that shit, when y'all say that
He
Maul
said
don't
that
be,
shit today.
when y'all say Maul, or when Joe say Maul don't be trying to do shit, it's funny because Maul had a whole entire podcast before Joe did. It was like Maul. I think officially Ice was on it as well. Let me double check. Hold on.
Oh, you coming in crazy abroad. Nah, my introduction to the JBP was me coming off of I wasn't like I think I might have been in my senior year, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I was like listening to this nigga yell at Yachty, and I was like, this shit's fucking hilarious. But eventually the nigga quit, so I was like, I'm not watching this shit without this weird ass nigga. So I went to the JBP, and the shit was meshing, and I found these other 3 niggas with him, and I was like, okay, you got 2 blacks, 2 whites. Okay, you a half moon cookie. So I kept watching this shit. And
It was
I've been a
perfectly
fan.
balanced.
Perfectly balanced as all things should be. Yes, they know snap the fuck out of everyday struggle.
Had all the Infinity Stones.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been hooked on this shit for 4 years straight. And it's sad to see niggas be where they at, but at the same time, I'm gonna say this. I would sooner want Maul off the podcast than Maul be on the podcast while saying
Facts.
respect is non-negotiable. So
I feel like that whole episode.
I don't mind niggas killing themselves off their own principles as long as they
Wait, hold on. Wait, so you said you had a problem with him saying that?
No, what I'm saying is
okay.
I'm saying is that I don't mind him not being on it as long as he not on it on his own principles.
I feel like that whole episode, when he kept talking about respect, though, his energy was so like everybody could suck my dick. Like I really don't want to be here. So it's like, and it
Because
do.
my funny thing was about that is that it was interesting to see Maul, because there's this thing I've been looking at for a couple of years is like Maul and Rory and Parks. I don't feel like they ever took the time to become more than like work friends, and I thought that would have helped grow
That's
the
a fact.
pod.
Well,
I can feel
Parks,
that.
I feel
But
like
you
was
You can
more.
tell too.
there have been verbal
Parks is a
hold
big-
on.
I can tell
There-
Parks don't mess with Raw and Maury like that.
But Parks is
that's
also
my thing
more
though. It's just like
business.
first of all, the white brotherhood is strong. It's there. You know what I'm saying? It's like
That is a
it
true fact.
exists. But
Sunset Park.
the funny thing is, and matter of fact, let me not even talk about that relationship. The funniest thing I heard on today's pod, which I pirated because you're not gonna do that to me. You're not gonna tell me that the only podcast out of 437 podcasts where what's his name, Parks talks the most, you're not gonna tell me what came out of his mouth was this. You're not gonna do that. So when this nigga started speaking the most he's ever spoke for 2.5 hours, I said, oh my damn, my nigga, I thought you was a mediator. Nah.
I didn't even know he was allowed to speak for real.
When you're done with the circle jerk, towels are to the left, hot showers to the right. When you've done clean yourself up, no, come outside, we can talk. But come on.
Guys,
But Parks
can I
has
just
been
ask one
around.
question to
Like
the group?
Parks engineered
But Parks has
most
been
of
real
Joe's
from day
shit.
one too.
My nigga, I fuck with my niggas, and I fucked them. Like my best friend has been my best friend for 12 years, and we've done the craziest shit together. I've done some shit that I'm not proud of. He done some shit that he's not proud of. Both we straight, right? 12 years going strong. No way though is this nigga gonna sit here and not tell me nothing I've done wrong for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Because that nigga loves me and respects me as
He
a
gonna call
real
you out
friend.
on your bullshit.
Exactly. And the fact that, and I'm not saying that he has to spend half the time. I'm not saying he has to spend an hour and 15 minutes saying bad shit and another hour and 15 saying good shit. I'm saying you ain't said nothing that this nigga did. And you know for a fact, if you tell another nigga, and I'm going to stand on this, if you tell a nigga who has put 6 years of his life into something that, yo, it don't concern you, you're liable to get a fat fucking lip, my nigga.
Yeah, that was
Period.
Okay, but
That's
can I
it.
ask a question?
Yeah,
1 minute. Can I
you
ask a question?
definitely
Well, who
liable to get
in
questioned.
this situation? In this situation, who like I just have a problem with the way Maul acted in a lot of this situation, just because
Yeah.
Maul says, "Oh, it's about respect," but I agree with Joe when he says, "Where else in the world can you just stop production, stop
No,
everything, and
that
say, oh,
Well,
they don't respect me?" Like, yeah, like
let me
I
answer
feel like
that
they were
though.
just very
My fault, my
naive in
fault.
this whole
in
situation.
today's
Like, come on, like, yo, we got a whole week. Like, nah, like, don't get me wrong. Joe was wrong in saying it's none of your business,
Mhm.
but he also was right in the sense of who else was supposed to tell Rory that he wasn't supposed to cut? That is Joe.
It is
It
Joe.
is his company. It's
Yeah.
his, like for you to say, okay, I have a problem with that and I'm not working. If I was Joe, I'd have been like, all right,
Hey,
well, you could not come too.
Because
all right, look, let me say
technically
this,
they're staff.
but let me offer a counter. Remember Marissa, how he let her go? He just said, yo, you don't, or something like don't come back or something like that, and then never responded. What did Roy say? He said you should take the next couple
Hmm.
pods off, and when he tried to call him, he would hang up the phone. So that was my only thing.
And you're right. Was it handled the right way? But that should have been something. Maul, as a friend, if you say you're a friend, you're a person that is friends with both parties, you should have stepped back and like if he said he didn't fire him, he said you should take the next step, a couple pods off.
For sure.
But
Okay,
but
No,
that's
off
that's
to the
you
road
shouldn't have jumped
But
into
I
that.
regardless.
feel like it would have came down to something that major would have then came to like a group decision. But like it's like you said, it's
No.
not like he said he was fired
Well,
essentially. But
Joe's super headstrong, and he's always gonna say like he's gonna react when he feels like he has to react. At the end of the day, it is.
And
not
like
but
I've had a